Doctors told Mel Gibson he might never move the same way again. At 64, he was limping through life, battered by years of stunts, action movies, and too many late nights. The pain was constant, the stiffness unrelenting, and there was a creeping suspicion in his mind that Hollywood had already written him off as just another aging action star. Mel had built a career on being tough, on being the man who never backed down. But suddenly the real fight wasn't on a movie set. It was against his own body. For years, Mel lived as if he was bulletproof. He did his own stunts, pulled all-nighters on set, and celebrated every film wrap like there was no tomorrow. In his 30s and 40s, the hangovers and injuries faded quickly. But after 60, it was different. The weight crept up. His knees howled with every step. Old injuries throbbed in the night. He started waking up exhausted, not ready to face another day, but just relieved he could stand up at all. Like so many people facing the realities of age, Mel started searching for solutions. He tried fasting, crash diets, juice cleanses, trendy miracle supplements, and every Hollywood fix that promised a quick transformation. But nothing stuck. He'd lose a few pounds, feel lighter for a week, then bounce right back, sometimes heavier, always more discouraged. One particularly rough morning, after struggling to help his youngest son build a Lego castle, Mel realized he could barely bend his fingers. His back was in agony, and just standing upright took an effort he never imagined. Watching his kids play, he felt a wave of dread. What if I can't be there for them as they grow? What if this is just it? That was the moment. Not some dramatic collapse or medical emergency, just a simple, honest fear. I want to see my children grow up. I want to be present. I want to feel alive again. Mel picked up the phone and called a nutritionist. Not a celebrity chef, not a Hollywood trainer, but someone who didn't care about fame, only about fixing the problem. He told her, I want to feel like myself again, not some broken down version of who I was. The diet overhaul, more, not less. The first thing Mel's nutritionist told him nearly knocked him over. You're not eating enough, she said. All those years of skipping meals, fasting, cutting calories, he'd been starving his body, not helping it. Instead of crash diets and self-punishment, Mel needed to fuel his recovery, repair the damage, and build real strength. Mel's new diet started with real food. No magic powders, no Hollywood cleanses, no starving. For breakfast, he made a ritual out of the morning meal. Omelets loaded with spinach, peppers, and mushrooms. Some days, smoked salmon and a slice of avocado. Coffee was there, but only as a complement to the food, not a replacement for it. Within weeks, he noticed he wasn't dragging himself through the morning anymore. The headaches faded, the energy started to come back, and even his mood seemed brighter. Mid-mornings, instead of reaching for processed snacks or ignoring his hunger, Mel drank a protein shake. But this wasn't the sugar-packed stuff he'd tried in the past. His shakes were built for recovery. Grass-fed whey protein, frozen berries, walnuts, kale, olive oil, and cinnamon. Real nutrients, real results. Lunch became an anchor for his day. Grilled chicken or wild-caught fish, massive salads with nuts, goat cheese, roasted beets, and sometimes a serving of wild rice or sweet potato. For the first time in decades, Mel wasn't skipping meals or eating on the run. He was sitting down and eating with purpose. The afternoons brought another protein shake, this one with Greek yogurt, flaxseed, banana, and cocoa powder. Mel kept his snacks simple. Almonds, fruit, the occasional spoonful of almond butter. Dinner was always real, never a sad, restrictive diet meal. Steak was on the menu, as was lamb or sea bass. Always roasted vegetables. If he'd trained that day, he added a baked potato or a scoop of quinoa. Carbs weren't the enemy anymore, they were fuel. Even after dinner, Mel didn't punish himself. If the family was celebrating, he'd join in. Sometimes a bowl of berries, sometimes a little dark chocolate cake. There was no guilt, no shame, no sense that enjoying food was failing at fitness. Mel finally understood. The enemy wasn't pleasure. It was mindless eating and denial. Real meals, enjoyed and savored, made it easier to skip the junk. Mel's new routine, consistency, not perfection. As the weeks passed, Mel's body started to change. The pain didn't vanish overnight, but every morning he felt a little less stiff, a little stronger. But food was only half the story. The other half was movement, real, everyday movement, not just gym heroics. Mel's new workout routine was built around what worked, not what looked cool on social media. He didn't need to become a bodybuilder or beat his younger self. 3 times a week, he hit the weights. He focused on the basics: deadlifts, rows, push-ups, simple dumbbell work. 40 minutes a session, in and out. The goal was to get strong and stay strong, not show off for the cameras. He found that the more he trained his body, the more it responded. Old injuries slowly faded. His knees hurt less. His back became a source of power, not pain. But Mel didn't stop at the gym. He built cardio into his life by making movement a habit. He hiked in the hills above Malibu, walked the beach, played tag with his kids. Some mornings, he did yoga or stretched in the sunlight. Other days, it was Tai Chi in the backyard or a few jumping jacks while waiting for the coffee to brew. It wasn't about burning calories. It was about feeling alive, flexible, and engaged. And then came the real secret. Every single night after dinner, Mel walked. Rain or clear skies, family night or alone time, he walked at least 30 minutes, sometimes an hour. He listened to music or just enjoyed the silence. Those walks became his moving meditation, the daily reset his body and mind craved. Sleep, which had been fitful for years, became deep and restorative. Instead of lying awake with a racing mind, Mel drifted off easily, waking refreshed. For the first time in years, he actually looked forward to mornings. Mel's approach to indulgence changed too. He stopped seeing food as the enemy. Instead of all-or-nothing thinking, he learned to plan for pleasure. Family pizza night? He enjoyed it. Barbecue with friends? He had seconds. But those treats didn't become a habit. They were moments, not patterns. Mel discovered that when you respect your body most of the time, it's easy to bounce back from the occasional splurge. The results? Mind, body, and the numbers. Within months, the change was visible, not just in the mirror, but in every part of Mel's life. The aches that had haunted him for a decade faded. His energy soared. He started waking up before his alarm, eager to start the day. Mel's doctor, used to seeing numbers creep in the wrong direction, was stunned by the turnaround. Blood pressure dropped, cholesterol and inflammation markers improved. Even his joints, once a mess of scar tissue and pain, felt young again. But the most powerful change was mental. The brain fog lifted, his mood stabilized. Mel found himself laughing more, losing his temper less, and being fully present with his family. Directors and friends noticed the difference. He was sharper, more creative, and more focused than he'd been in years. And there's one more number that really matters. At his last physical, Mel's doctor ran a battery of tests. The results? His biological age was 13 years younger than his actual age. That's right, at 69, Mel Gibson's body was testing closer to 56. Hollywood had called him washed up. His own body had nearly given up, but Mel chose to fight back, and he won. The lesson: reinventing aging. What's the real lesson from Mel Gibson's transformation? It's not about deprivation or punishment. It's not about fads or suffering. The answer is shockingly simple and endlessly powerful. Aging is inevitable, but feeling old is optional. You can choose to fight for your body, your mind, and your future, no matter what age the calendar shows. Mel's method isn't perfect. He has days where he misses a workout or overdoes dessert. But the secret isn't perfection. It's showing up again and again, making the next meal, the next walk, the next choice count. Mel proved to himself, his family, and the world that you don't have to fade away quietly. You can build a life and a body that works, that enjoys real food, that wakes up ready for adventure, even after decades of damage. So what about you? Would you trade late-night snacks for a walk under the stars if it meant a second chance at youth? Could you enjoy steak, chocolate cake, and family dinners and still come back stronger? Mel Gibson's story says yes. All it takes is one honest decision, one real meal, one walk tonight, and the belief that your best years are still ahead. Let us know what you'd try from Mel's routine in the comments. And if you want more real-life transformations and stories that break the Hollywood mold, don't forget to like and subscribe, because your own comeback story could start right now.